Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Kinsarvik in Norway, and a huge thank you to Cli4D Designs for giving me the opportunity to fly this, their latest release. And as with all the scenery that Cli4D produces, it's an area, it's a playground, especially for helicopters, of lots of different sites. It's not just one airport or something like that. It's a large area of different bits and bobs to explore, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. I am not going to be going to every single site because after all you need to discover those yourselves. That's half the joy of it. But we're going to be going to some key features and using the beautiful high performance group H145. Of course, here we are in 202 squadron colours, which is the helicopter I fly for HEMS missions and search and rescue missions, usually on live stream. Got a Discord link below if you want to check those out. But yeah, we're going to take a nice little tour of the area, get some helicopter practice in as well, and see what Cli4D has done. He just creates these wonderful little worlds, these tiny little environments that you can land a helicopter in, and it's just incredibly atmospheric and beautiful weather. I'm going to stop waffling. Let's get flying. So here we are, and what a beautiful place and weather to take a flight in a helicopter. So this scenery, and I'm going to say this up front, this is almost a disclaimer, or some might even say a health warning. My Norwegian pronunciation of names is not going to be very good, so you're just going to have to bear with me on this. But the scenery is based around Vettelman Heliport, Airlift AS base in Kinsarvik, and Statkraft, which is the National Energy Company facilities in the surrounding area, and it's part of a scenic area in Norway known as Hardanger, and Hardanger is home to Folgfonner, Norway's third largest glacier, fjords, mountains, and the popular Trolltunga Troll's Tongue. So it's a beautiful area to fly in. Really chuffed to bits to have the opportunity to do this. And a huge thank you again to Cli4D for the opportunity. So where we are right now is Vettelman Heliport, which was established in 1987. It's a well-known heliport for things like a bit of cargo, also human beings taken to different places, and also the police, the air ambulance, that sort of thing. A great place for them as well. So let's get this thing fired up. So first of all, let's have some battery. We'll put the position and anti-collision lights on. Quick look down here just to make sure everything's coming through. We'll push that through. I'm going to stick it on there so I can turn off the terrain warning. Having a look down here. I'll inhibit that so it doesn't get in the way. So that's absolutely fine. Happy with everything that it's saying there because that's what we would expect. So we'll acknowledge those. Okay, and let's pop up to the top. Oh, quick look down there. Thought I'd spotted something then. That's fine. Oh, EPU connected. We want to get rid of that. It's not connected down there. It's there because I thought it would look kind of cool in the scenery. And I left it there, so let's go into there, get rid of you, that will go from there, and now we can see our nice power test OK, which gives us a warm fuzzy feeling, doesn't it? Yes, he loves it. Right, let's get rid of you again, and whoop, wrong button. Let's get rid of you there. So power up test OK is showing there. That's been done. We can do that, so let's get prime pumps on. So 1, 2, and let's start engine 1. Quick look at the instruments. M1 rising, and our oil pressure is rising, which is always good. Excellent, everything's moving around now in a nice manner, so we'll have engine 2 up. Again, checking the instruments. This obviously isn't a textbook startup, by the way, just trying to get in the air quickly so that we can get flying. So, good engine start at 1 and 2, so now we can have prime pumps off, transfer pumps on, and let's start turning everything on up here. And we can leave that as it is, we don't need any lights or anything like that. I'll put the strobe light on now. Get ready for this to ping off. And we'll do the same thing, so turn off the terrain warning, because in the terrain that we're flying in, that's going to be going off all the time.
System test OK.
So TARS inhibit, or TARS inhibit, however you want to pronounce it, potato, and all that. Right, this is all good. We can acknowledge, it's saying prime pumped on. I did turn them off, but I think I left one on and I flicked the wrong one. There we go. Right, engine idle, that's fine, that's where we are. Happy with everything here. Let's have both engines to flight. Okay, and we'll turn on all the autopilot systems, not that we're going to be using them, but we have the stability at least and everything set up, so that's all good to go. We don't need to worry about the synthetic vision, so I'm going to leave that, but I will just move a few things around here. There we go. So looking at little nav map for my flight plan, so let's have a look over there. What have we got in the way of wind? We've got 3 knots from almost on the nose, so not a great deal. So we can start our flight. So I'm just going to move that over there. That's fine. All good to go. Haven't done anything silly. We don't need the radios down there, so they are off. Right. Quick check that my trim release is working there. Okay, so let's concentrate on flying a little bit. Just going to get some forward speed going, and then I'll come back so we can start our trip. Look at the detail on the rivers down there. This is the kind of stuff that I love in Cli4D scenery. He really does pack in some very realistic areas. We've got the town down here, town of Kinsarvik. We will take a look. There's some details that Cli4D's added. Very picturesque, isn't it? I've got to say, he's definitely got an eye for some really beautiful areas to go to. They're probably all wondering what the RAF is doing over here. Actually, I guess they're probably used to it. NATO countries doing training in each other's country. Right, let's spring around. Wonderful. A lovely waterfall down there. Okay, let's head up this way. And we are heading to the waterfalls of Husedalen. Husedalen. Whichever way it's pronounced, it's blooming beautiful, and Clifford's brought it to life just for you. Look at this. Make sure we're concentrating on the flying. We don't want to bang into anything, that would be rather embarrassing. I am so addicted to helicopters, and flying in places like this is really great. As I said before, we've got a Discord, so I'll put a link to that down below. If you're into flying helicopters or warbirds, come along and say hello. I normally fly this helicopter on live streams doing HEMS and search and rescue stuff. Out of RAF Lossiemouth, which is where this livery would have originally flown from. But today we are flying in Norway. Look at that. Just stunning. It's amazing how good Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 can look, especially when a developer like Cli4D Design comes along and adds scenery like this. It really is quite stunning. And here we are, heading up to the masterpiece. Look at that. Imagine camping up here would be absolutely stunning. As someone looks like they might be doing down there, unless I'm just imagining. Yeah, I'm imagining it. I do that sometimes. I see a rock and I see something completely different. Look at that. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Norway is such a stunning country. I almost did this with live weather, which seemed to show a lot of snow on the ground, but I thought for this video anyway it would be interesting to see all the colours, the summer colours, and I'm glad I did. It just looks wonderful. Right, let's pop over the top of this. See, we've climbed quite a bit now. Just slowly getting some forward speed on so we can get back to BY.
$500.
Poke out over the top here. I love the way the rock is modelled in 2024. There's so much more detail down there. You enjoying it? Yeah. He's saying, when are we going to rescue someone? No rescuing today, matey. This is just sightseeing. Although I am going to have to come back here with the Random and Anywhere mod and do some search and rescue and HEM stuff for sure. Wow. Getting carried away there. Let's
500.
Come back on the speed. I thought I was on a roller coaster for a moment there. That is beautiful. So this is Hotel Ullensvang, and I'll be quite honest with you, I am not sure if this is something that Clifford has added in, I will check, but it appeared on my little nav map, so we'll go and take a look. Because why the hell not? It's one of the wonderful things about his scenery is that you just find all these wonderful places, and even if it's not something he's put in there, he just tends to pick areas where there's a lot of stuff going on.
$500.
Right, let's see where we're pointing. Over here, I think. I am beginning to think this isn't part of his scenery. It's just something Asobo popped in, because I think we'd know it if he had done. But we'll have a quick look overhead, just in case anyone knows it and they've stayed here. Oh, there's the helipad underwater. I guess that's the helipad. Maybe not. Yeah, this definitely isn't one of Clifford's. So let's on y va, as they don't say in Norway, and as they probably don't say in France either, really. But we all know about my inability to speak French fluently, and certainly can't speak Norwegian at all. Okay, let's climb. Just get back up the mountains again. Majestic, that's the only word for these kind of mountains and scenery. I do love flying in Norway. You alright, lads? You enjoying the trip? They're all saying, when are you going to rescue someone, man? That's what we're here for, that's what we got paid for. Anyway, I hope you are doing well as we climb up this hill here. What are you flying these days? What helicopters are you flying these days? It's an interesting thing on this channel. It's almost like you imagine a Venn diagram, as it were. You've got people that like warbirds and you've got people that like helicopters, and somewhere in the middle is a small group of people that like both. But the wonderful thing about you lot who watch this channel is that it seems to, you know, there's enough people that do like both, or just watch it for one or the other. And in the Discord as well, there's the kind of two communities side by side, but in some respects together as well. And it is wonderful. I only got into flying helicopters in the sim through this particular helicopter, the High Performance Group H145, in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And then it was flying HEMS and search and rescue missions that absolutely solidified my addiction. But as you know, if you follow the channel, I love the Huey, love the Llama, love the 500E. All great fun. Different helicopters for different uses. The Huey is that kind of nice vintage seat of your pants, not much in the way of technology, but I do love the H145. So we are climbing still. Just coming back up here. Lads in the back are thinking, God, I just want to find a lost hiker. I'm looking for lost hikers, they're saying. You keep looking, lads. If you see anyone, shout. Oh, there's a nice little hut. It's like a bothy in the Highlands, somewhere to take refuge in. Right, let's come over here a bit. That detour down to the hotel was a little bit unnecessary, but it gave us a chance to have a quick chat, didn't it? Oh, a bit of funny mesh stuff going on there. Generally, I find in this sim the mesh seems to play pretty nicely, but every now and again you do see a funniosity, of which that was one. Just coming back a bit. Keeping that climb in, please. And we are heading to the Trolltunga helipad, the Troll's Tongue helipad. This one looks really interesting. One of the things I should say, I mean, obviously check out Clifford's scenery on your shop of choice. There's some really good shots in there, and also there's some really good information in the package when you get it. There's some real-world photographs, because Clifford's worked in conjunction with some real-world pilots who fly in this area, just to add that extra realistic touch. And this particular pad looks very interesting. It's not very big. And this is what I mean by saying that these kind of areas that Clifford puts together are kind of a playground for helicopters, plenty of places to practice. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to practice your helicopter flying in such beautiful surroundings. Still a little bit of snow up here. I think I set the month to May. Zip over the top of this. Great thing about scenery like this is every time you crest a ridge, you're just presented with more wonderful scenery. So just got a gentle climb in because we're going to be going over this ridge here. And we're not far now from Trolltunga.
500.
I am keeping my eyes peeled. Oh, there's funny mesh stuff going on there. I don't know if you saw that. Suddenly had some hills slowly rising like they were being inflated. So it's somewhere, or it's going to be somewhere up here on the nose, so keep my eyes peeled. I have got little nav maps set up, but it's at a range where it's not immediately obvious where everything is. So let's see what we can see. Probably down there somewhere, I should think. So we'll just fly over here into the valley. Try and do this safely.
500.
Okay. Let's see. It's not jumping out at me. Let's have a quick look at the map. I'm probably looking in the wrong place, perhaps. Let's. Yeah, I think I am. I have made an assumption that it's going to be over this bit here where we're flying, but it's actually a little bit further in. So let's come forward, but hey, it gave us a chance to see this, which is rather spectacular. That down there is also a seaplane airstrip, by the looks of it. Right, where is... Where is it? You can see pylons. There it is. Good God. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Let me center. If I center the view now, you can just see a little wooden pad. You might have spotted it before. I certainly didn't. So let's come in over here. Wind is from our right. Let's just stay above where those power lines probably would be. Yeah, it reminds me, you can now get the power lines mod for 2024. I saw it on Orbex, and I had it when it was a free mod in 2020, so I definitely need to get it. Right, so coming in a little bit steeper than I would like. Just trying to get over the wind is on the nose. Pushing that tree. was just trying to straighten up a bit there and completely lost the mojo. Which is what happens. I've said it on other... Yeah, I need to shut up. Okay, let's come in from this way. I call it losing the mojo, but what I kind of mean is I'm concentrating on flying the helicopter, trying to land it, and then you're kind of in this deep meditative state, and then something suddenly throws you, like talking on a video, and then that's it, you've lost it. So let's do that again, and I'll shut up. Wind isn't very strong. Yeah, lost sight of it again. As soon as you lose sight of it, that's when you've got a problem. Okay, let's just relax on the stick a little bit. Back her up a little bit. And we're down. Let's have a quick look outside, see how atrocious that targeting is. Well, yeah, that's a little bit oof, isn't it? There's a little bit hanging over the back. It would certainly worry you a little bit if you climbed out and you saw that. But there you go. That is the fun of flying helicopters. I'm sure there will no doubt be people in the comments saying what an awful landing that was, but that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about, practice. Right, okay, we're going to head over to Statkraft Moranga now, which is where the power people are. So let's concentrate again. Backing away and gently turn around. And stick the nose into wind and let's get some forward travel going. Beautiful scenery. Perfect for helicopters. If you think about it, if you were learning to fly helicopters in the sim, there's so many, in addition to what Cli4D has put in, you've got so many opportunities to test your skills, land on peaks, all that kind of good stuff. Lovely little windy road up there going up the side of the valley. So much detail in this sim, it's just incredible. Perfect for helicopters, isn't it? You agree, don't you? Yeah, he agrees. We're all loving it. So we're just flying over Liltop. Well, we're about to fly over Liltop, if you know the area. Look at that down there. There we go. Quick check of the instruments, everything's looking okay. Wow, look at that. Wonderful scenery to fly around. So we've just got to go over the top here, and then down on the other side we will find our little hydroelectric base, and it's from there that they seem to be transporting crews by the looks of it. So I'm just taking back control of the helicopter. I have control, Mr. Robot, thank you. Look at the detail, it's insane. So damn realistic. I do need to get into VR again. I've finally
500.
gone from my old 380 Ti to today, this very day in history. My 5090 has been delivered. So that's a huge step up for me from what I had before, and this is actually my first flight with it as well. And I've gone from using DLSS to TAA, so I'm getting much crisper detail on the instrument there, and the performance is pretty good so far. I did load into central London. Once I'd installed the card, I just wanted to have a quick look at how smooth it was going to make the sim. So I loaded into Battersea Heliport with I did have DLSS on for that test, I must admit, and I took the drone up, and it was smooth as butter. It was just incredible, really good. So I'm glad I finally made the investment. I've been holding out for a long time now using the 3080 Ti. I never got the 4090. At the time seemed a bit overkill, but with this sim and a few other things I've got going on, I need the extra juice. Let's just pop over the top.
500.
Check of the fuel state, that's good. There's quite a few videos on the channel now of Clifford scenery, so if you want to see what else he does, if you haven't already seen it, or you haven't seen it for yourself, have a look at some of the videos on the channel. Got some beautiful tropical areas over by the Philippines, but at the moment he has taken a look at Norway with some of the more recent releases. It's beautiful. There we go, look at that. Down there is where we're going to go now. So we've come over the top very high. Look at that, beautiful high altitude lake. So we want to be down there, so let's come back on the collective a little bit. And we can take a look at the base. Just bringing descent in and coming back a little bit on the speed. And once we've been here, we are going to head over to Vinduit, as it's marked on Clifford's map, and it looks like there's a very pokey helipad there, and reading some of the information that came with it, you have to be careful for downdrafts over by the glacier, so I'd be interested to see how that feels in the sim. Just coming over gently. Gently does it. Wind is 6 knots, picked up a little bit from where it was before. And let's see if we can find this base. It's just majestic. So I'm just coming in now, I can see the base. Some lovely houses.
500.
Trees are going to make the approach slightly interesting. So I'm just coming in slowly because I'm just trying to get an idea of where the helipad is. I should already have studied it a little bit more beforehand. Guessing it's going to be there. Yeah. Just keep the visibility up, please. Watch the trees coming over here. And we're down. Beautiful. What a nice spot. So there we go, we'd be picking up some hydroelectric peeps to ferry them around, and now we are going to head to this challenging little spot and we'll do a landing there. And don't forget, like I said, I'm not showing you everything, I'm deliberately only showing you some of it. Interesting. Let's have a look over here. Keeping on climbing. Not quite at VY yet. So just pulling in a bit more collective and putting those down a bit. There we go. Look at the detail. Incredible. forget to climb. Lovely little lake. It's quite interesting in Flight Simulator 2024 you can see the different styles of terrain, because you can literally fly anywhere in the world. I fly this helicopter, as I said, most of the time in the Highlands of Scotland, out of RAF Lossiemouth, and coming here in Norway and seeing, you know, it's still mountainous terrain, but it's quite different, and seeing how it varies is just fascinating. Okay. I am really interested to see what this next spot looks like. We are flying at a warmer time of year, so we've got the green and everything down there, but we are heading to a glacier. Figuring it's going to be over here somewhere, and it did say that the technique is to come over from this side. I believe there it is. And watch out for the downdrafts. Trying to get the nose round so I can get some viz on where we're going.
500.
And bring her in gently. And the procedure is, if it all goes pear-shaped, then we dip down over the glacier and head back into the valley. But that's not going to happen. Right, I can see the panel now. See the panel, the pad. Okay, we've got a vortex ring state situation, so this is where it's gone pear-shaped. So we're going to get out of that. There we go. Concentrating too much on the scenery and not enough on what the helicopter is doing. So, just as well I reviewed the emergency procedures, so we'll come back round. Look at the scenery down there. Okay, let's do this again. Quite amazing how making a video and concentrating on flying a helicopter doesn't always go together. So I'm a bit low this time.
500. Keeping an eye on the instruments now, making sure I don't make the same mistake. So got plenty of collective in. Still a little bit high. finish of this, really. If you saw it before, but its warning came up for vortex ring state again, so I'm just trying to concentrate on getting some visibility of the helipad again. And keeping control of the helicopter, right. See the warnings come up again. It's very easy in this position to go into vortex ring state. So I'm just going to steady on. One of the difficult things with a pad like this is you haven't got much in the way of a normal horizon to be able to look out on and gauge what the helicopter is doing, which is one of the reasons why we are slipping all over the place. So just backing it out again, keeping control. I want to get visibility of that pad. There it is. Okay, let's focus on. I could actually, there's a very useful hovering instrument that I could use, but I haven't got it set. Got the vortex ring state warning in again. Very interesting. I don't know if it is downdrafts, but I don't know if I'm just imagining it, but the helicopter does feel like it's being moved around a bit. So I did say this was good for practicing flying helicopters. I'm going to back up. Let's back up a bit more. There we go. Instead of rushing it, let's try and take it gently. And what I'm going to try and do is really doing it again. See how we're wallowing all over the place. Okay, let's get control. It's disconcerting because I've lost sight again, but the helicopter feels nicely in control, so I'm just going to walk it back a little bit, walk it back a little bit. Just see the edge of the helipad there. Down. Whoa. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that we tipped off backwards then, and we all died when we fell off the side of the pad, but not to be put off, we're going to come in and do it again. Now the strange thing about that was it really felt like I was on the pad, so I'm not quite sure what went wrong, but there was obviously part of a skid that wasn't quite centered. So what I'm going to do this time is actually try and get us squarer on the pad. I think maybe that was the problem. Probably I was at a slight angle or something. There we go. Right, if I let everything go, hey! This time we're not going to fall off. Let's take a look outside. Well, there you have it. Just goes to show what a tiny, tiny spot to land on. And no wonder we fell off it before. I reckon I was at an angle and must have just not had enough skid on there. But we are down. We made it in the end. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the flight. I hope you've enjoyed the scenery. I'll put some links down below so you can go and take a look. Well worth a look indeed. And a huge thank you again to Clifford for giving me the opportunity to fly this scenery. Look at that glacier. I think it's time to nip down below and see if anyone's got some beers on ice, because I think after that I need one. Anyway, great to have you along. Don't forget the Discord, and I shall see you back on the channel again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.